everybody. I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're at Musikmesse 2011 with Anders from True Temperament.
Yeah.
A lot of you have probably heard of True Temperament through guys like Steve Vai, who have had this fret system installed in their guitars for better intonation. Anders, I'll let you talk a little bit about what's going on with what you guys are doing right now and your design and where you plan to take things in the future.
I started with this like 20 years ago on my own guitar, just because I thought I had two choices. I would like make it short. Two choices: either I quit play, or else I try to fix this. Because the tuning, intonation issues was really so annoying for me. So I had to do something. I couldn't quit play, so I had to fix it. So I have no options. Because so.
Why don't we back up a little bit for people who may not be familiar with it and just explain that True Temperament aims to rectify problems with, like, say you get your guitar in tune in an open E or an open G or whatever, but then you move up the neck and it's not quite in tune in other chords, right?
Yeah, that's true. As just a short explanation of that, what's going on here is just with what luthiers have been doing when it comes to put out the frets on a guitar, on an instrument as fretted, is that they've been using a mathematical formula that is 12th root of 2. That's what they use to divide, a certain scale length, to come up, with the placement of the frets. But this itself, is in theory, so that we collide with reality. That's why I also have to back up the saddle on the bridge, to find the true octave in the middle. Yeah. And the second thing is that with straight fret, just with that mathematical formula, is that what we're trying to achieve with it is to create an equal tempered 12-tone scale, that every note is equal in shape, so all this. Yeah.
So that no matter where you play on the neck, your chords will be in tune.
Yeah, that's the thought, behind it, and is everything sound the same. But that itself, that idea of a 12-tone equal temperament, itself is a mathematical thought from the beginning. Yeah. What I've been doing, or what Steve Vai and those other artists playing, is this kind of fretting. It's my own temperament. Like you say, like how the relations between the notes, the distance. So what I've been doing is a well temperament. That suits the guitar. What I believe, and many others who are using it suits it. It's better.
You were talking earlier about how we guitar players, even if you're wild, crazy shredders or sliding on the stage on your knees or whatever, we're still pretty conservative. We all love this, tube amps. That's a technology that's 60 years old, and we're not really embracers of new technology.
Yeah, that's true. But I can say one thing about this. This is a really simple. If you can look at it, it's a really simple solution for it. It's no batteries. It's no high tech. This could have been invented in the 50s. And so I think it's a matter of, I don't sell, my necks, on the picture. You have to come to a stage, that you can actually pick it up and play and see what I've been doing, to make a comparison to a straight fret guitar. It's I think it's quite noticeable once you get the chance to grab it and play and see it. For those who might not run into those tuning issues yet, but I think most guitar players sooner or later, run into I used to say like an intonation crisis, thing, and it's nothing to laugh about. It's quite seriously for many of us, for me, to that stage that I have to make a solution for it. So I rip off my fret from my first Strat. That I had back then 20 years ago, and I began to figure out. But I started with no knowledge at all about temperament and stuff. I just start from zero, I worked me, around to now it sounds good here. Okay, this note I have to move this little bit here, and what happened with the next note? It's like a big puzzle to put together. If you're going to have 12 notes within an octave and every key is playable. Yeah.
Have you noticed a big difference in how receptive guitar players and bass players are to this technology? I guess not technology, but to this idea?
Yeah, what could I say? have like a slight impression that bass player are a little bit more open to new things. Okay, what I can say so far, I don't know. But as soon as a guitar player picks this up, and is to notice that all the advantage of, with the positioning of the fingers and chords, be able to make inversion and don't have to retune the guitar, and then they get changed quite quickly. That was noticed. I've seen it many times, during this fair I have been here. And
One thing that's interesting, I wondered, does the shape of the curves on the frets change by scale length on your guitar?
yeah, it does. So on this Strat is 25.5 inch long. It look a little bit different on the Gibson because it's shorter. A little more compensation on the G string, but you see the similarities from this to Gibson. And I do also like in the middle 25 for PRS guitars and stuff, and it looks a little bit different. And it depends on the scale length and it depends on the instrument. I do also nylon string guitars, and that looks also different because nylon behavior is really different from steel string.
So you can modify anyone's guitar with you either take the fretboard off, is that right, or get a new neck if someone wants to change their own guitar?
Yeah, on set neck guitars, what I used to do there, or what I do is replace the fretboard. Yeah. Um,
Do you just steam it off, or how do you get the fretboard off?
If it has bindings, I have a technique that I use the CNC to rotate away. You don't have to touch the finish around the neck. And if it doesn't have, it happens. If I don't have bindings on the guitar, I can steam it off. I use heat. Yeah, and that goes really well to do. But some, it's really common that it's binded, with bindings, and then I rotate, really precision rotating, to keep the bindings and don't touch the finish around.
Now people will notice here, our viewers will notice that you've got a True Tempered branded neck here. Are you selling replacement necks that have it?
Yeah. On bolt-on guitars, like Fenders, I do. I have a collaboration with Warmot to send me. I can order from them like necks without rotating. The fret loss is not there. It's fretless basically. So so that's what I do. But some customers also with the bolt-on neck are really in love maybe with the neck stock, with the car, keep it. So I can do that too. It's up to the customer or like the person, the guitar player, what they need.
Okay.
I'm open to everything, to make it possible to retrofit the guitar.
Okay. Now you're also trying to work with or make inroads with manufacturers to get them to make this an option on their guitars, right?
Yeah.
How is that going?
Yeah, that goes very well. As said, that have increased, from those years. When I come here to Frankfurt and with the artists that are endorsed by those company, when they begin to play it and they send the guitar to me, I retrofit the guitar. And like for Steve Vai, for example, he used that. And let's see how we do with that, in future. I don't know. A Swedish guitar player, E. Eklund, he has Caparison guitars, and they sell that guitar, his signature with the True Temperament, and also Tommy Denander, so he plays on VGS, do his guitar, and also Steve Stevens in the same brand.
Well, thanks so much for telling us about this stuff. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, or should we say goodbye to our viewers online at premierguitar.com?
Yeah, I think it's time for us to go back. We'll have a little bit sleep after those days. It's been quite intensive.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for showing up here.
Yeah, thank you, Anders. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, same. Thank you.
I'm Sean Hammond, and you're watching premierguitar.com.